Okay, so in previous class we discussed about man-machine interaction. So man-machine interaction takes place between display and human, and from human to control. Okay, so there are two interfaces. At one interface, machine will communicate with man. For this purpose, display is used. Okay, a display on machine will be read by man, or he will see and he will analyze the actual condition of the or operating conditions of the machine or equipment. Okay, that is the purpose of display. Display will communicate with the man. Machine will communicate with man through display. Another interface is man will communicate with machine. For that, controls are used. Okay, if you want to change any input of the equipment, or if you want to reduce speed of the car or bike, okay, then you are going to make use of accelerator, then gears. Okay, they are nothing but they are the controls. Like that, every equipment or every product will have controls and displays. With the help of these, so a designer is able to achieve interaction between man, user of the product, and the product itself. Okay, purpose of display, why we need display? The purpose of the display is not served until the information is presented is perceived, processed, interpreted and acted upon by the operator. Okay, if some information is displayed, then the purpose is served when that information is understood by the user, and if he is able to make decisions based on the information displayed, okay, then only purpose is served. Otherwise, if it results in miscommunication, then it is of no use, or at times it will result in some adverse actions. Okay, next, the display should be so designed that it facilitates these mental processes. Mental process means, again, reading the information displayed and understanding that information and taking actions based on the information on the display. Okay, so that is the mental process: reading, analyzing, or understanding, and making a decision based on the displayed information. The display mode should be compatible with the mental concepts of the operator. So, based on our understanding, or based on the societal issues, okay, we have some mental concepts. That means, if it is a circular scale, okay, and if the pointer move in clockwise direction, that will be easy for us to understand. The reason is we are familiar with wall clock, where the pointers will move in clockwise direction. We are used to that. Okay, so because of that reason, so if any circular scale, if the pointer moves in clockwise direction, okay, so it is easy for us to understand. Similarly, we read any sentence from left to right. Okay, that is the another thing. It is easy for us to read information from left to right. If any information is written from right to left, it is difficult for us to follow. So this is an example of improper display. Okay, so here we have four circular scales with pointer. Okay, you can see here the numbers are arranged in anti-clockwise direction in the first display. In the second case, it is written in clockwise direction. Here it is written in anti-clockwise direction, and here it is written in clockwise direction. So if you want to know the actual value displayed by this kilowatt hour meter, you have to read all the four displays. Okay, and then you are going to get the total value. Okay, so because of this improper arrangement, in two displays the number is written in clockwise direction, and in two displays the number is written in anti-clockwise direction. This will leads to confusion among the user of this instrument. Okay, so here it is in thousands. That means it is at 9,000. Then 300. Then I have to read in this direction. Okay, so it is 9,000. it is 300, it is again 20, then 29. Okay, the value, the current value displayed by this kilowatt hour meter or 4 displays on the kilowatt meter is 9329. Okay, this is the value displayed by this kilowatt hour meter. But in order to read this value, it will take more time. At times, a user may read it in an improper way, or he may get an incorrect value because of this arrangement. Okay, these type of confusions need to be avoided whenever a designer is designing displays. Okay, that is the meaning. You should consider the mental concepts of people, because we are used to clockwise numbering in circular scales. Okay, so these are some of the preferred display markings. So here the number is increasing in clockwise direction, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be increasing in clockwise direction. Here also it is increasing in clockwise direction. Here 0 will be at the top. So if you see most of the wall clocks, okay, 0 will be at the top. Okay, that also we are used to that. Next, if it is a linear scale, okay, we read from left to right. So that is familiar to us. Again, linear moving scale, okay, increasing to top. So next, so if it is a digital display, then again, so numbers are moving upwards. So in speedometer we have seen this. Okay, so if you want to know how many kilometers you have rated the bike, so then you have seen this type of display. Okay, we are used to it. If the numbers vary in clockwise direction, okay, then that will results in better understanding of the information displayed. Okay, next, displays are used for different purposes. One purpose is providing exact numerical reading of an input or output quantity. Okay, suppose in heat transfer lab or in engines lab. Okay, so you have seen if you want to input a particular power, or if you want to input a particular temperature, okay, you will look into displays. Okay, so if you want to heat water for 40 degree, for the until 40 degrees displayed on the instrument, okay, so you will go on heating the water. Okay, so there the intention of this type of displays is to provide exact numerical reading like 40 degree temperature, 50 degree, 45 degree, okay, or power 100 kilowatts, like that. Okay, so that is one purpose, providing exact numerical reading of an input or output quantity. Another example is weighing scale. Okay, if you want to check your body weight, then you want to know the exact number. Okay, so for that purpose, this displays are used. That is one purpose. Okay, example, or for this case, digital display is suitable because it is easy to read. Okay, so this digital display is suitable for cases where user want to get the exact value of a particular parameter or output. Next, providing tracking information. In few cases, we don't want exact value. We want only the range. Okay, whether the speed is within the range, within the safety limits, whether a driver has crossed safety limit. Okay, or if the temperature is, again, whether it is high, low, medium. So like that, if you want to know the range, okay, or if you want to know the tracking information, that is whether the hydraulic circuit is operating within the safety limits, whether the pressure of the line is more than the safety level. Okay, so in order to display this type of information, we use some displays. So the intention is to provide tracking information. So for this case, fixed scale moving pointer display is suitable since we don't want the exact number. Okay, we want a particular trend. It allows easy reading of the instantaneous value and indicates the trend. Next, providing qualitative information of the state of the equipment. Again, whether the equipment is in working condition, whether there is some problem with the equipment, is there downtime of the machine. Okay, so for that reason, we need displays to display qualitative information. So here also we don't want any numerical values. Since the actual quantitative reading, that is a numerical value, is not needed, that is immaterial, the scale marking should be removed and instead the regions of acceptable and unacceptable performance be marked. It is common in these situations to have a warning light in parallel. Okay, in some machines, if all safety precautions are not taken, then a red light will blink. Okay, that is an indication of a particular status. Okay, status of the machine. Like that, in some cases we make use of indicators also for this purpose. In order to display qualitative information, we use indicators also, and we use some scales also. Okay. So this is one example of qualitative display. Here you can see from year to year it will indicate a particular status. Okay, so it may be acceptable, and from year to year it may be not acceptable value of a particular parameter. So we want whether the instrument is working within the acceptable range or whether it is working out of the acceptable range. You want to know only that. Okay, so like if you are not worried about marks, whether pass or fail is sufficient. Okay, that is a quantitative information, pass fail. So you don't want exact marks scored by a student. Okay, so like that in some cases for measuring parameters also. So in few cases we need the exact value of the parameter or input or output. In some cases we need a range. Okay, whether it is low, high, okay, or medium or average. Okay, in some cases we need only acceptable, non-acceptable. Okay, so like that. So this is the qualitative display. So there are these three purposes: providing exact numerical value, providing tracking information, providing qualitative information. For these purposes displays are used. Next, design of controls. This is the last topic. Controls constitute the interface where man applies the input to machine. Okay, in pneumatics lab, you have used many controls. Okay, in order to operate a direction control valve, so you have used push button and you have used roller. Okay, so they are the controls. So they are going to control direction control valve. Okay, so similarly, if you consider car, okay, there will be a steering wheel. Then if you want to control fan, ceiling fan, then there will be a regulator. Then there are switches, pedals, levers, brakes, knobs. Okay, these are the familiar, most quite often used controls. Okay, control why we are using these controls is, so in order to control a machine, that means we want to give some input to the machine. So that means man is communicating with the machine with the help of these controls. Okay. Next, considerations in design of controls. Compatibility of controls with related displays. Because most of the times a user of the machine will make a decision based on the displayed information. Suppose if you want to increase or decrease speed of the car you are driving, okay, then you want to know what is the speed at which you are driving at present. Okay, so similarly, if you want to reduce or increase the speed of driving, okay, so you make use of controls, like you may use accelerator. Okay, if you want to reduce or increase, you make use of the accelerator. Accelerator is the control, whereas speedometer is the display for that case. Okay, so here compatibility means if a car is running at 100 km/h, okay, so that should be displayed on the displays. Suppose instead of 100, if it is showing 80, okay, then there will be a problem. Okay, then the driver don't have the correct understanding of at what speed he is driving the car. Okay, so that's why there must be compatibility of controls with the related displays. Okay, match between the control and the display will minimize confusion that arises while deciding which control operates which display. And So in some of the equipments or some of the devices, so there are more than number of displays. Okay, so if you consider aeroplane, okay, so there are n number of displays in front of pilot, and pilot should know, okay, so which display and in order to vary, okay, so suppose if you want to vary the height at which the plane is okay flying, so then he should know which control he has to use. So ಯಾವ control ನ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಯಾವ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು, so that should be known to the operator and there should not be any confusion. For movement compatibility, a common practice rule is to be adopted, that is in order to obtain the indicator movement in a particular direction, the knob should also be rotated in the same direction. Okay, this is an example. It is an example of stove, okay, like a gas stove. So consider a gas stove consisting of 4 burners A, B and C, D. There are 4 knobs to regulate the flame. Okay, so again, so there are 4 burners and 4 knobs. Okay, so these are like displays and these are like controls. So you can regulate the knob, okay, based on that you will get the flame. Okay, you may get high flame or you may get low intensity flame. Okay, so now based on the mental concepts which are already there in our mind, okay, we will understand that. So 1 will be used to operate A and 2 knob is used to regulate B and 3 is used to C and 4 is used to D. So here our mind will interpret this, the relation between this burner and knob in this way. There are 2 reasons for this. One is we will start numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4. We will start letter from A, B, C, D. Okay, we will try to connect this. That is one mental concept. Another mental concept is we always try to look at things in a clockwise direction. Again, A, B, C, D. Okay, so we try to read in a clockwise direction. So these 2 mental concepts will result in understanding the relation between knob and burner. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ knob ನ ನಾವು rotate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಯಾವ burner ನ regulate ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು, so we are able to identify. So next, so there is another illustration. Okay, so if you want to bring this pointer downwards, okay, in a display, in a linear display, if you want to bring this pointer downwards, this is the control knob, this is the knob, this is the control, and this is the display. If you want to move this pointer downwards, so usually based on our mental concept, we are able to identify that this should be rotated in clockwise direction. If you rotate this in clockwise direction, so you will get this pointer will move downwards. That is the general perception. Okay, similarly, if you want to rotate B, okay, in which direction it should be rotated? B. So A na clockwise rotate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು. B na ಯಾವ direction rotate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will move down. Okay, based on mental concept. Okay, ಯಾವ direction rotate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು B na? Okay, based on the mental concept. So we know, so if you are using this knob B, it should be rotated in counterclockwise direction. So ಈ ಕಡೆ rotate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ based on the mental concepts. Okay, so we will think that if you rotate in clockwise direction, it will move upwards. So in order to bring this pointer downwards, we have to move in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so that is another thing. Okay, movement compatibility of controls. To move pointer C, this is the pointer C down, that means in this direction. Usually users will turn knob A in clockwise direction like this, so that it will come downwards, but knob B counterclockwise direction like this. Okay. Next, these are some preferred design of display and controls. Okay, some preferred control displays. So if you want to move this we want the pointer to move in this direction from left to right. Okay, another thing is, so if you rotate this knob, if you are using this knob, we want to rotate it in clockwise direction to move the pointer upwards. If the control is located at this position, we want to rotate this knob in clockwise direction so that it will move up. Okay, again, in order to rotate this pointer in clockwise direction, we will operate the knob in clockwise. Okay, suppose if this is the display, okay, and these are the controls. If display and controls are located in different planes, okay, so display is in horizontal plane, control is in vertical plane. Okay, in such situations, so these are the general perceptions of human beings or operators. Okay, so general perception is left to right and clockwise. Okay, that is the general perception. So these are compatible in the sense that a person normally expects a pointer to move in the direction shown when he manipulates the control in the manner shown in this figure. Next, visual and non-visual coding of controls. In order to avoid confusion when there are number of controls and displays, okay, so coding is used to make easily identify the displays and controls. Coding will be used, and this process is standardized because, okay, so you may use a operator may be familiar with CNC machine from one company, and next if the controls and displays are designed in a different way, then again in order to operate the new CNC machine, operator will find it difficult to operate the new one if there are changes in the controls and displays of the CNC machine from different companies. Okay, similarly if you consider car from different companies or bikes from different companies, if the controls are and displays are different, are designed in a different way, then the user of these products takes time to become familiar with the changing designs of displays and controls. Okay, in order to avoid this confusion, designer can go for standardization. Okay, so or he can go for a standard coding system where every company will follow the same coding and will follow the same pattern of communicating with the user. Okay, that is the visual and non-visual coding of controls. When a number of controls are to be handled by an operator, some type of coding may be necessary for the controls so that he can recognize them quickly and avoid selection errors. In order to reduce confusion among operators, design of controls are standardized and controls are placed in some logical sequence, like in clockwise direction or from left to right. They are the logical sequences. Okay, next, compatibility of controls with physical capabilities of man. Okay, we discussed about physical capabilities in previous class. Okay, in order to operate controls by understanding the displayed information, user of the machine or user of the equipment should have some capabilities. Capabilities related to vision, capability related to hearing, capability related to physical capabilities like strength or muscular capabilities or movement capabilities. Okay, otherwise it is difficult for user to operate most of the machines if he doesn't have enough physical capabilities. Okay, if he doesn't have better vision. Okay, the designer should design the control such that they can be operated even by the worst of the probable groups of users. Okay, every individual will have different capability. Okay, it may be in vision, it may be with physical strength, but designer should consider who are the users and what is their capability. Okay, a well-designed control is one which can be operated conveniently by the person who is supposed to use it. Okay, so this completes unit 8 and the course. Okay, so